Hello, I'm going to explain you all the steps to do the exercise 5 of Unit 2 of your activity book. Is this exercise on page 17, and we have to draw this rectangle, and inside of this rectangle make 4 equal parts, and every part we have to do lines with the set squares. You have to notice that this rectangle, this side is 180 millimeters and this side is 245 millimeters. If we measure a sheet of paper of DIN A4 paper, this side is 210 millimeters and this side is 297 millimeters. So you can notice that the rectangle is smaller than the sizes of the DIN A4 sheet of paper. So we have to do some mathematical operation at the beginning. So if I know that this side of the paper is 210 millimeters and the side of the rectangle is 180 millimeters, I have to rest these two lengths, and the result is 30 millimeters. To know how much space I have to leave in both sides, I have to divide 30 millimeters by 2, and the result is 15 millimeters. So now I have to mark this length in both sides of the paper. To draw this rectangle and everything inside, we will need a ruler, pencil, a rubber, and the kit of the set square. This set square is called 45 set square because these two angles have 45 degrees and this 90 degrees is a straight angle. The difference between them is that this other set square, this angle has 60 degrees and this angle 30 degrees and this is 90 degrees. So when I have to name this set square, this is 45 set square because of these two angles, and this is the 60 set square because of this angle that is of 60 degrees. Is to distinguish them. Okay, so now I have to mark 15 millimeters or what is the same, 1.5 centimeters. At the top, sorry, it's here, at the top of the paper, in both sides, and at the bottom of the paper. When I have the two marks, I have to join them in order to do a straight line. I put my fingers in the middle, so in this way the ruler can't move. And on the other side, the same. I join these two marks. You have to draw lines, but in a soft way, not so hard, because if we want to erase a line, if we draw hard, after that the marks of the pencil leaves in the paper. So to know which is the side of the rectangle, the side that we have to draw, I know that the length from the top at the bottom of the paper is 297 millimeters, and I have to rest the length of the side of the rectangle, that is 245 millimeters. The result is 52 millimeters. And as in the case before, I have to divide by 2. So 52 millimeters divided by 2 is 26 millimeters, sorry. So I have to mark on the line that I draw 26 millimeters, or what is the same, 2.6 centimeters. I mark here, I mark in the other part, on the line, and after that I have to join these two marks with the same procedure than before, and here the same, and I will have the rectangle. So what I have to do now is to erase these lines, and at the end I will have the rectangle of the exercise in the center. To divide this rectangle in 4 equal parts, I know that the length of this side is 80 millimeters, 80 centimeters, or what is the same, 180 millimeters. So the half is 90 millimeters, and I mark 90 millimeters at the top and at the bottom. And after that, I join these two marks. So I will divide by 2 this rectangle. And I know that the length of this side is 245 millimeters. The half of 245 millimeters is 122.5, or what is the same, more or less, is 12.3 centimeters. And I mark this length in the paper, and I will have this rectangle divided by 4 equal parts. So the first rectangle is made of vertical lines. This is a vertical line, and separate each line for 10 millimeters, or what is the same, 1 centimeter. So the first thing that I have to do is mark every 10 millimeters, divide this line every 10 millimeters. After that, I have to take the 45 set square and put it under this straight line, always under a straight line. And the other set square will be the helper. I put for the longest side, this is the longest side of this set square, and it doesn't move, and this will be slide from the top to the bottom, and allows us to draw perpendicular or parallel lines. So I put this set square under straight line, and I move this set square until the first mark. Look that this finger doesn't move, and this up and down, up and down. I make the lines, every mark. And until the end. If you have to move the set squares because you are not comfortable, you can do it. I look for a straight line and put this set square, that is the helper, and I can go on. It's very important that this set square doesn't move. And I will arrive until the end. In this rectangle, we have to do lines of 60 degrees. So the set square that has 60 degrees is that one. The first thing that I have to do is to divide this piece of line every 10 millimeters as we did before. At the top and at the bottom. And the second step is to take the 60 degrees set square. You have to put on this straight line and the other set square must be the helper, and I will put under for the longest side. This doesn't move and this can slide. So I can find a mark and do the first line. It's very important that the position of them is right. I can do this exercise without moving the position of the set square, or doing parallel lines. I change, I put the 45 set square here, the other, that is the helper, and make parallel lines until the end of every mark. So these marks here help us to finish the exercise, because when you finish these marks, you have these ones. And we have all these lines of 60 degrees.